Forever, I wanna wake up to you. Brushing you off to make up with you. Do all the hoops to lay out with you. Lay out with you. Forever, I wanna wake up to you. Brushing you off to make up with you. Do all the hoops to lay out with you.
Crazy, sexy,
yeah,
cool.
Hey, what all you been through? All clean, all mean, tell me what is the truth. Cool, can me and you be two, then we be one. Never keep the score, almost been done. Cause God's still working and he ain't done. Wouldn't try to search, cause there ain't another one.
Welcome, I am Ambrosia Britney.
And I am Ep2.
And this is
Britney+Joe.
Yes, welcome to our new home.
Back in the building.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shout out Empowerment Central.
Yes, thank you so much for letting us have our home here. We love it.
Man, we love it. We love it. You can also find the link to anything we're talking about down below.
Yep.
In the description.
Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
Click, 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 click. But you look nice today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You do. You look nice. What's new with you though? You gotta tell the people because I'm so excited for you.
Okay.
So you gotta tell the people.
Okay. Well, besides us working on Britney+Joe and music videos, I also have the Lamb Boutique.
Okay.
Which is awesome. I have it online, and you can book a personal shopping experience. And shout out to everyone who has helped me come and stock things and put and clean up and set things up. We had an awesome grand opening.
Yep.
It was just amazing. So.
And you got your spring summer drop that's about to drop now.
That's coming out now. For our spring summer clothing for the cultural urbanist. So statement and style.
That's dope. That's good, man. I'm proud of you though.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm really proud of you.
I love you so much, and you are such a good help.
That's
and
good.
I'm proud of you for just being such a good, supportive husband.
Oh. Is that what you wrote in your hand? Is that like scripted?
I memorized it.
No, man. But yeah, no, it definitely takes a village though, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it takes a village,
does.
man.
Not just to raise a child, but to run a business.
Yep, to run a business, it does, man. You need your village doing what the village is doing so that you can build the business.
Yep.
Definitely need your village, man.
Yep.
Find your village. If you are starting a business, find your village. And some of you are like, I ain't got no village. If you got friends, real friends, you have a village. And family, you got a village.
Yeah.
Now, their capacities could be a little bit different, but see what their capacity is and work your village.
And say, this is my dream, this is what I'm working on.
Yeah.
And most of the time, when people see you working on something, they want to help you.
Yeah.
Like if you see somebody on the side of the road and they just sitting in their car, you just drive by. But most of the time, when you see somebody out there changing a tire or under the hood, it makes people want to come and stop and help them. So if people see you working and you working on something, you explaining them what you're doing, more than likely they will love to help.
Yeah.
In their own way.
Because it's crazy how that works psychologically, right? When I see somebody sitting in their car on the free I may ask if they're all right, but my assumption is basically like, they waiting for help.
Yeah.
They already got what they need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to work so people be like, okay, no, they need something.
Yeah.
You know, they doing it, man. What you need? You know what I'm saying? So like, man,
I'm in school and I need a babysitter, or I'm trying to take
Come on.
this class so I can get into photography or acting or whatever it is.
yeah. Work your village.
Yep.
Awesome, man. Well, dope, man. Well, we got an interesting like topic today. I think it's cool. I think we kind of touched on some of these things like before, like previous episodes.
Yeah.
But I think like in the new home, I think we can kind of like
Yeah,
you know,
we can
kinda-
revisit it.
Yeah, revisit, man, and it's revamped too. I think it's a little bit more in depth, but I think it's really good though.
Okay.
Really
Yeah,
good,
more
though.
focused in.
More focused
Yeah.
in, more honed in a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So what's our topic?
The money question. Today is the money question.
People don't want to talk about it, but people want to brag about it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh wow, wow.
They want to brag about what they got, you know, what they earning, but then people don't really want to talk about how are they managing it and how do you manage it within a couple, within a marriage.
Well, you know, Britney+Joe, faith, finance, and family. So
Yep.
we're gonna deal with some of these financial things, man. And so one of the things that we kind of think about, I think one of the prompts that we have was just like, you know, what are the money questions before marriage or like while dating? Like what's the money question? And then an even better one, because I'm gonna surprise you on this one.
Okay.
What was the money questions that you either thought of or asked in our dating phase?
Oh, that's good. But we were young. Like, I feel like I was so young then that I didn't really understand. I didn't have the financial knowledge that I know now.
Okay.
So, like, if I'm at this age and I was single and dating, I would ask certain questions that I didn't even think of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Back
Yeah.
then, like, I didn't grow up knowing about even retirement or knowing how to pay for college or no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it took me a while to kind of, with experience and researching and asking questions and being around people who own homes and things like that, like that's when I'm starting to learn, oh, these are the things that I need to be asking, or these are the things that I should know. But back then, I didn't have any concept of that. It was more so of, do you work?
Yeah, true.
Are you a hard worker?
Yeah.
Willing to work, got a job, and take care of your kids? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was more so of that. But then I think
Do
as...
you got a W-2 or a W-9? That's what you want to know.
What was it you used to say all the time about your mom? She used to be on you about making sure you had a job and stuff.
Yeah.
And then once you got a job, then what would she say?
Oh, well, what about the benefits? Do you know what the benefits are? And I'm like, I'm just happy to have a job. I mean, I ain't even thinking about, you know.
I'm 19, 20 years
I'm 19,
old.
20 years old. If, you know, if I get a sprained ankle, like, I'll be all right. I'm still going to do the same things I've been doing, just with a limp. You know? That's what we did, man. We never took the time to really like get healed from stuff. Like we thought we were like Megatron and stuff back then, but we thought we had the Wolverine in us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll come back and bounce back, and then you get into your 30s and the things you didn't ignore at 19 and stuff like that. You're like,
you can't.
Dang, bro.
Or the things that you did ignore, they're coming back to you, and you're like, whoa, I still got to deal with this.
I still got to deal with that. Yeah, man. Now that ankle is now it's still it's softer than the other one. It's more. It's
now
not
I'm limping. I didn't get over it in a week.
Yeah. Nah, man. You didn't take the time to heal correctly, man. So like that stuff you still got to deal with, man. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But nah, that's. And so what I hear you saying is that sometimes the way that we are raised and who we were around, like, informs what's priority when we are dating.
Yes, and that comes to something that I think we spoke about before, about like not settling for, oh, this is better than my parents, or this person, at least this person is better than my last boy. If this person doesn't hit me, well, that's the bare minimum.
Right.
Like, where's the bar? Is the bar that low? Like, you just accept anybody who won't call you out your name?
Yep.
Like, but then what are your standards?
Yep.
So I think that just makes me think of, and just reminds me of, like, okay, how do you think about what do you think about when you enter a relationship?
Yep. So, what I would say is that, would you say like kind of like how you were raised, it's kind of like how you enter into the priorities of, you know, your relationship to money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I'm in this relationship where I'm entering in this relationship where I'm thinking about this relationship, what's important. And you said like the thing that was important to you is, do we got a job?
Yeah.
And I just interpreted that and said, hey, man, can I see your W-2 or W-9? You know, W-9 means, you know what I'm saying, I know you're an independent contractor, you entrepreneur, you being more creative. I see you out there. W-2, I know you got more of a secure bag, more consistent
Well,
money.
I think it's, like, for me, it's more of work ethic.
Okay.
Because we can grow into something, like we can figure out what your passion is. We can figure out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have to have that work ethic to get things done and to go for it. So if someone is lacking the work ethic, then it's harder for me to process, okay, how are you going to be earning money?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For the family. I can't do everything.
Yeah, right.
So that's the major thing that I think when I was younger, that's what I was thinking about.
Right.
More so of work ethic.
Okay.
Than like what kind of job or how do you manage money? Like, money management wasn't even a
on the
term.
table. It's not even on the table.
Yeah,
it's
because
not even
I
on
was
the table.
never taught how to manage money. Even as a kid, even as in high school, and having allowance, it was just like, okay, bus pass, and then school clothes, whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna have a savings.
Right.
This is how, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
I never had those type of conversations.
Right. Absolutely.
What about for you growing up?
No, we never talked about it. It was giving an allowance. You know, when you got older a little bit, and then you got in trouble, so then you lose your allowance. So I don't really know how much allowance I got.
So that was the major thing of like, earning it or losing it.
Or losing it
Yeah.
based on behavior. I always was taught to tithe and make sure you got something to like, you know, give to the church. So that was prioritized. But yeah, I didn't know what even as I got older, I didn't know the importance of a retirement, IRA or 401k
Still trying to
or
wrap my head around it.
CBA. Nah. Like just know what any of those were, man.
And starting to get into stocks,
Right?
and things like that.
Interest, compound interest, you know, all of that type of stuff, man. I didn't know portfolio, what, you know.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like the peachy folders that we had.
Stop. You mean like a folder?
Yeah, that's what it was. That was a portfolio to me. And so we didn't know to ask any of those things, is my point, you know. And like the basic thing is to start off is like, you know, what's your credit score? But then also, when do you share that though? You know what I'm saying? Because if we dating.
I didn't even know anything about credit score back then.
Okay. But I'm saying, like, for people now though, like if you're dating, like, you know, when is an appropriate time to share your credit? Because if you're just not really that sure about it, why you need to know my credit score?
But then it makes people feel like you're just all about money.
A credit score is not money. You see what I'm saying? A credit score to me is, you know, where you stand with.
I think
you know?
maybe it has to come from a certain place when you how do you bring it up?
Okay.
How do you ask it? How do you talk about it? Is
Okay.
it from a place of learning or sharing?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people now, especially like on Facebook and people we know, like, oh yeah, credit repair. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, well, within our 30-somethings, 40-somethings
Yeah.
groups. So I think that when you bring up like questions about credit score and finances, like it has to come from a sincere place, and then maybe the way you say it matters. The way you bring up the conversation. Are you trying to inform someone? Are you trying to because then if you're the person, if we're on a date, and you ask me about credit score and stuff like that, I think that feels different than if I was asking you as being a male. Like, how would you feel? Do you get what I'm saying?
Man,
like as a man, it feels like for men there's more of a standard of leadership and financial responsibility for a family.
Or it should be.
Yeah. Well.
And I see how I did that. My bad. I didn't mean to take you off and, you know, going to a rant.
Right.
That's a different show.
You're right. I think that also comes from different social economical backgrounds. I feel like that people who grew up in more middle or upper middle class, they have more of that concept, even if you're in church or not. But then if you grew up a little bit more poor, sometimes people can fall into that, oh, it's all on a B type. You know what I'm saying? Real hood ghetto mentality. I'm calling it hood and ghetto mentality. Of like, oh, these women are going to take care of me. Type thing. And that's a whole nother generational trauma and a whole nother conversation.
So that's more, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking possibly by like, you know, depending on age though too. You know what I'm saying? If you dating in like your 30s, you know what I'm saying, or close to your 30s, I say, as I heard my boy say, like, okay, he said that by the third date. You know what I'm saying? So you got, because you know 1, 2, 3 strikes, you can be out. So he said by the third date, like, do you share the actual number or do you say your range? So what you say is, I'm good, fair, poor, or really good. or really good. Actually, I'm green or I'm red or I think
Yellow.
Yellow. Share your color or your range.
Stop.
Hey, correct, man, color or range. You ain't got to give me the exact number. The exact number, let's say that's date 9 or 10, because then we for real at that point in time, you know what I'm saying? So, like, let's do it by date 10, you know, I can give you the actual, like, number, you know what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah, age really does matter, because when you're in your 20s, people may be in college. You know what I mean? They may be like,
Facts.
They're not really, or they may be, some people are homeowners in their 20s. And then when you get in your 30s or when you get in your 40s, it's a little different. And then it's like, okay, well, how much debt do you have? You know, but it's, I don't know, it's really tough to have those type of conversations. I don't feel like it's something that is talked about a lot within families. And so then when you try to talk about it with somebody, they may not have that context and they may not know.
I just thought credit was something that free money that they gave you that you had to pay back in smaller chunks of than what you had borrowed, And you may end up paying a little bit more in the end, but it was cool because you actually got to get some stuff that at one time that you really would have took you like longer to get. So that's kind of like how I looked at like, you know, credit, you know?
I looked at credit as like, well, I feel like it's more of a burden. I don't want to have to owe somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's more of like a personality thing
Right,
than anything.
yeah.
Because it's like what I thought of credit was just like, yeah, you can get all these credit cards, but you're going to have to pay it back. And credit is your name. It's your word. It's like back in the day, like when you say something, you better do it, you know, because your word is your word. And so you're signing a contract and you're saying, I'm paying this back. And if you don't, it messes up your credit. It messes up your name. So then when you go to try to get things or do things later, it's like, oh, your name is kind of messed up. You owe this person, you owe that person. Why would I give you a car loan? Why would I give you a mortgage, a home loan, if you haven't even paid back this $2,000 credit card? Well, am I going to give you $350,000 for a home? You know, so So when it comes to dating, when you're in, so when you're in the relationship, by the time you're already in the relationship,
okay, we in it now.
Okay, then it's like, how do you talk about it? Who pays what? Like, you know what I mean? And when it, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll just talk about like how we do. So like what I think is important that you do when it is that, you know, you're in the relationship, when it comes down to money, is discovering who is the money person in a relationship. When meaning this, like, and not that these things are like totally black and white, right?
Right.
But like, who's the spender in the relationship? Like, you guys are both going to spend money, right? But who's a little bit more free with the spending? I'll say it like that because I don't want to get in trouble. But who is the more free spender? Who's the person who's just like, it's all right? You know what I'm saying? Who's the person who's just like, I'm going to wait on that one? You know what I'm saying?
Like somebody we know, her and her husband, when they used to talk about finances, we thought it was just so funny. When there's like one person would handle the budget, another person would be like, okay, so I want to get this. Oh no, that's not in the budget. Okay, that's not in the budget. And then they would go out and buy something. He'd be like, well, what's in the budget? Because you going and getting this and this and this and this, and I can't get nothing.
What is in the budget?
In the budget?
What is in the budget? And I think that's the next thing we can kind of go to, because I think we're talking about like, we already talked about how to rent, and the next thing is about like who can, who controls it, right? Who controls the money? Who helps the budget? Who helps the budget, man? Like, and then what's in the budget? So I think even this is like even applicable to us, like even lately, like it's just a communication piece about what it is that we have.
Oh yes.
And
you mean lately, like today?
Yes. So like what it is that we have, and what's the plan for it? You know what I'm saying? Like there's some money that kind of came into the home.
Can we give a personal example?
Sure. There was some money that came into the home, and I didn't tell her about it because I had plans for it, so I just set it aside. And she was looking and expecting, and like, oh, where's this money? I wonder. But she was talking to herself. She didn't let me know. She would have let me know. I would have told her. So
I was checking the mail, and it hadn't came.
I heard her think out loud, and so then I said, hey, by the way, all that, that already came, but I got it set aside as sitting up there. And so she was just like, well, how come you didn't tell me? I wanted to know. And usually, what we usually do is we just like, oh yeah, this is coming, or we know ahead of time, this is coming, and then we budget for it. True. And we say, okay, so then next month when we get paid, this is what we're going to pay. And this is going to go to this. This is going to go into our savings. This is going to go for home ownership. This is going to go to our vacation. And then we have to get something fixed on the car. So I'm going to put that aside. And so we know ahead of time. So don't spend this because this is in the account because this bill's coming out. So we would do that. So then I'm like, okay, well, if that money came, why you didn't tell me? You should have just said, hey, I'm going to put this aside. I'm just letting you know. And that would have been fine. Right. I was kind of just whispering to myself. I said, to preserve it. Because So you thought I was just gonna spend it? The less you know, the more we grow. Oh my gosh. No, but I think first of all, sometimes, man, I'm just like, okay, then I don't just spend every dime that we have. We got some I don't want people to get that perception. She doesn't. But like for my wife, like there's times when I know that the our spending account can look low, right? And like I know we got money because we have money in different places, man. I have different like apps that we kind of get into that
savings
stuff.
apps and stuff like that.
Yeah, which definitely we do want to get into some very helpful stuff on that. Probably not this show, but definitely want to get into that. But like I know I got money in different places, and so she just doesn't like to see it looking low.
Well, no.
Like she'd be like it makes me, and then also with the car, with the gas too. Like if it's under, I don't know, under a half a tank, it's like it makes me feel poor.
A quarter tank. Well, it's a quarter tank, but I don't.
Okay, quarter tank.
I don't. Okay. But also, I like to be efficient, so I don't want to have to go to the gas station every 3 days. Like, I want to fill it up and I'll be good for the week. Or if we're really busy, I'll be good for 5 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not, I got to find a gas station every 3 days because I'm on a time schedule. Like this morning when we were going to the gym.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, man, I got to stop by the gas station. You know, things like that. And I was like, I just filled up. Like, I mean, I just got some gas a couple days ago. But that's just one of the things where it's like, okay, I don't want to have to keep transferring money constantly.
Yeah.
If we know, okay, we got to get groceries, we got to get gas, I'm not going to just transfer a little bit of money. I know that I'm going to need a chunk to get these things done over the next couple of days.
Right.
I guess that's just how I view it.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know me, I'm just like, okay, what's the need / the want right now? Like, what would be enough money for the weekend? And so that's what I kind of like be thinking. And so like on Friday, I'll transfer and have some money in there for the spending for the weekend or whatnot. And then if I see it get low, I'll get something else. But I know that I'm not really doing like any of the spending, but like she's out there like spending. So then she's like, hey, I need some extra money. I'm just like, dang, it's already.
And then I don't know how to mentally budget.
Yeah.
Because I don't know exactly how much because I have to keep saying, oh, transfer some money. And then it's like, okay, well, if I know, I got $500. Okay, I'm only going to spend $100 on this and maybe $50 on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I can know, I can just be like, hey, Philip, just give me some money. It doesn't matter. Because I can just ask for it anytime I want.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Oh no, we can start off right now. So yeah, so what I think is one of the important things to do is that as a couple, you guys find out who is good at managing the money.
Yeah.
And then also find out who is good at who's good at like going and get the things and then kind of come up with a budget that's collaborative.
Yes. Talking with each other about it.
Collaborative and communicating about the budget. You must talk about the budget together. And be in communication about it at all times about what's coming in and then also like what's going out. Make sure that you guys are talking about that with your partner. And then there are going to be things that, you ain't got to know every little tittle. Hey, I just let you know I'm going by McDonald's today. I'm going to spend a little $5, you know what I'm saying, or $7, whatever it is. But I think that you don't got to do that because that's like really controlling.
Yes.
But
that's tedious.
That's tedious. But what you can say is, our McDonald's budget this month, because McDonald's is a pain for us, our McDonald's budget this month is going to be $112 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
however you have to break it up.
However you got to break it up that works for you guys.
Because then your spouse knows the expectations. You guys you have something that you agreed upon and they know the expectations. Because sometimes we can have expectations of each other and we don't talk about it. We just have it and then we get mad when a person does something but we didn't tell them how we felt or what we were expecting. So then when you have that conversation, then you're like, oh, okay. Because you may have an idea what the budget should be. Yeah. And then there may be something that you didn't think of. And I might say, oh, you know what, there's that one thing. Or so-and-so wanted to go on this girls trip. Or so, you know what I'm saying? And then we have to adjust things and we have to talk about it. So it's still collaborative. But one person may be managing it more than the other.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. We all have a part to play in relationships. So yeah, that's what you do. So the next question would be, separate or joint accounts and or joint accounts, and then what's the benefits? Like why or why not?
Well, some people have a problem with spending.
Okay.
And I know couples who don't have joint accounts.
Okay.
Specifically because over the years they've decided it's better to do it this way.
Okay.
I pay and then they assign bills to each other.
Gotcha.
Okay, when your paycheck comes into your account, you pay the mortgage. When the paycheck comes to my account, I pay the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we have it. So that's kind of separate, but they talk about it and they come up with a plan. It's not a secret what your spouse makes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a secret how much money they have.
Right.
But you guys come up with a plan together on who's going to pay what bill.
Right.
So I've seen it done that way. We have some joint accounts and some separate accounts.
Right.
But we just talk about it and see it all.
Right.
So it's not like I don't
Right.
know. It's,
Well, I don't have access to seeing what your
if you wanted to.
if I wanted to, yeah, but I haven't seen them.
Right.
And like she hasn't seen mine. I mean, I've shown her, but you know, but we do talk about like what's in there. Like, oh yeah, how much you got in that?
Right.
Over there.
Oh yeah, I put this away. I've been saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what's also important too is like something that you had said, something that you said that really struck home for me was about. Oh goodness, that's right. It left me.
Oh, but I like the fact that it comes from a place of trust.
True, big facts.
Yeah, you have to trust each other. And sometimes there'll be situations where it's like, oh man, they knew I had to pay this bill and they went and took all the money on my account.
That's what it was.
You know what I mean?
When we're talking about people and how they get, because you get paid once a month, and I get paid twice. So like, with you know, the first is like all of our bills, right? You know what I'm saying? We got the rent, we got the car note, we got all these type of things that happen at the beginning, right? But like
business rent,
baby's check, a lot of her check goes towards she actually pays the rent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, bro, you live with your chick, she paying the rent. Like, what type of husband am I? You know what I'm saying? She paying the rent. You know what I'm saying? Man, she gonna pay the mortgage too. No, I'm messing around. But hey, you know, I'm taking care of the car note, man, you know, and everything else, man, our child care.
But it all goes into the same account, so it doesn't really.
Right. The direct deposit goes into the joint account.
But that's one thing too that we had to figure out. We had to decide on what bills were going to come out on at when. So we had to figure out, okay, you get paid this much, I get paid this much on these dates. We had to talk about, okay, this is what we're going to pay, and then we had to move bills. We said, oh, we're too top heavy.
Yeah.
We need to move the car note to the 15th check, or we need, you know, to the second week of the month or whatever. So I think that was great that we were able to figure out, okay, this is our budget, this is our income, these are our bills, and this is how we're going to pay them.
Right.
Because then you have a plan for it. Sometimes we don't even plan for how we're paying our bills. Things come up and then they're late, or we went and spent money on a birthday party and we didn't pay that light bill. Now we got to call and do all that stuff. Yeah. But if you plan it ahead of time, you know what to expect.
Right. And I think like even for me, like the way my brain is like wired, I'll ask her one time, I'll like, when does that come out? When does that? And like for some reason, like, oh, I know that comes out on the 11th. Like right now, like I know that our cell phone bill is the 11th. I know that our child care is the 15th. Like I just know them. I'll be like, babe, when is that? You know, and she just be like, well, I don't know. Let me go and check.
Yeah,
like,
I'm more of a automatic payment person where it's like, okay, I know that these five bills come out between the 10th and the 15th. So I'm going to put this chunk of money in this account, and then they come out automatically. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where I separate it. This is bill money. This is spending money. Like I can't memorize every single. You know. Bill. What did I pay last month? Maybe it was $180. Maybe it was $205. I don't know. I got other bills and I'll be like, how much is the bill? Like I don't know. I got business stuff. I'm thinking I'm mixing all the numbers just mixed together. And I'll be like, how don't you know? Like you gotta know how much you know. I said, what's the range? Yeah, you used to get mad. It's like, how much money did you spend at the store? And I'll be like, I don't know. I just got what we needed. You didn't check the receipts? Like when you put things in the bag, because the way my brain works, like when I'm putting things into the basket, like even though I know that all the money is in there for whatever I need, I'm just always thinking about like, okay, what could this be? Yeah. Okay. So what do you think about when it comes to prenups? Like, and this speaks to different socioeconomical backgrounds. Right. Because when you come into a relationship and you already have assets, you already have property and things like that. What do you think about that? Like if we came into a relationship and you already had things and I already had things, and what do you think about prenups? Basically, like what I see prenups at, like it's so layered now, you know what I'm saying? So I think like because each one is kind of like individual to people's situations, and there's so many different stipulations that you can put into it now, like legally. So basically like the basis of them is like you kind of like, you leave the relationship with what you came in with. You know, that's kind of like basically what it's saying, except for some of them, you know, like that's basically what a prenup is like. And then there's concessions that maybe one side or the other may make. Hey, if you have one kid, I'll give you an extra $5,000 or $10,000, depending on where your socioeconomic status is. I'll give you this amount of extra money a month because we had one or two kids. And so because of that, I'm going to concede this right here or give this here and divide it up right here. Socially, like I just think like the fact that we need them or the fact that people feel the need to have them, I think is,
I think it is I think it's just a mark on our culture. You know what I'm saying?
It's tough for me because I do feel like if we weren't married,
Yeah.
and let's say I had a business and I had the lamb already,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, yeah, I do want to protect it, but at the same time, why would I be marrying somebody where I don't feel like we could?
Well, nobody goes into it thinking that, though. That's the thing
That's
about it
true.
is. But that's why I said it's a mark on the society, because, like, really, what should happen is, it's like, if we were able, that's why the Bible talks about, like, you know, if you're in disagreement with your either enemy or your person, like, settle on your way to the court, or settle on the way to, like, why you guys are on the way there. Like, basically, like, you guys should be able to work that out in an amicable way, right?
Yeah.
But because that is not always the case, because you could have married a sane person that turned crazy. Because of that, maybe you married someone who you couldn't tell was bitter. You know what I'm saying?
Or they changed over time.
Or they changed over time, regardless of the circumstances. So now there's something in place to protect crazy you from, you know what I'm saying? To protect me from crazy you, and to protect you from crazy me. So
basically, that scripture is like a prenup. Like, you decide ahead of time.
Ahead of time, man, we about to,
you
you know,
make the decision.
We got to make the decision,
If for any
man.
reason we're separating or
Yeah.
anything happens, this is what we're gonna do.
And then what we built together.
Be like Tina Turner. I want to keep my name.
Hey,
That documentary was crazy.
Tina Turner documentary was off the hook. Go
Yeah.
watch that on Amazon.
Yeah, I think it was Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon Prime is really good.
Yeah.
Yep, really good.
But wow. But yeah, so I guess I'm just more so of like, if we're building together, like, yeah, we already have our stuff, but once we get together and we do more stuff together, we're gonna create more.
You're in expectation of growth.
Yes.
Because you're looking for a partner. And so when you're thinking about the money question, it's like, can I partner with this individual? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, not just have.
And some people aren't looking for a partner.
Not looking
They
for-
just want somebody like, yes, you want to help me take care of the kids. Like, that's your work as a partner. You're not a business partner, but you're my partner in life.
But that's
with
still
this.
a partner, though.
Yeah, but you're not the
I'm
business
playing-
side of partner.
Yes, but but without that, if you don't have that person, like, who's either taking care of the kids or, like, being the you know, like, what about what they are doing support, like we were talking about earlier about the village, like, they may not have seen the books at the Lamb, or they may not been able to see this, but the fact that they was watching our babies during that time, that's the seed that they sown into you know, into the business, man, into the creativity. Like, that's an important job, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think when you're looking for, you know, a partner within the context of marriage, man, I think, like, yeah, the money question is, like, are you going to be a person that's going to open the books? Like, are you going to be an open book, man? Like, the money that comes in, are we both a part of that process?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or are you just controlling
Are
everything?
you just controlling it?
Everything
Because
is yours.
even if you are the one to do it, because we got a friends like he hardly ever knows what's going on, whatever, right? But that's because like we both have equal power and equal say, right? And there's open and transparency.
Yeah.
Allow me to give that up, not you try to take it from me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't take that from that person. That person should say, you know what? You're good at that, so I'm going to leave that at your table. Because that allows me to know, like, I also know that when I'm ready, or if ever I need to look at what's happening on the table, I can come and do that. And you can't be like, oh, what you doing? Why you want to know now? Like, that shouldn't have happened. Like, you always knew that I could come back to this table at any time. And so I think that's one of the important things.
And that's just not just with money. That's with, like, managing your house, like, just with your partner. One of our friends, like, they're always like, oh, if we ask them, oh, we ask him if he wants to go somewhere or do something, and he'd be like, oh, you got to check with my wife. I don't even manage the calendar.
Yep.
So we automatically know not even to go to him.
Yes.
We'll go to his wife and be like, hey, what are you guys doing? Because that's the person but we don't be like, why your wife? Why we always got to go through her? Why is she controlling it? You know what I'm saying?
They know what works
But it's like,
best for
if you
them.
know how, if you know what works best for your family, then you make it work and you make it happen and you communicate. Yeah,
Most definitely.
that's respect.
Definitely, man. So I think we do, as always, man, gotta pop it off with the part 2 to kind of get more into the specifics about future planning, investing, you know what I'm saying? What does that look like? You know what I'm saying? And ties, all that type of stuff. Why your mama keep asking us for money. All that type of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, those are some tough stuff.
In-laws, man. You know what I'm saying? And then not even in-laws, your own family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you're like, how do you manage
handle
that as a couple, man? Like, you know, tell them to stop. Don't tell them to call me no more. You know what I'm saying? But all day, man. So, as we told y'all earlier, man, thank y'all for joining us today. Y'all know that those links, as always, is down below to the Lamb, to Empowerment Central, to Brittany and Joe, and anything else that we talked about, man. Find all that information down there in that link below, man. We're so appreciative that y'all joined us today, man. So it's a big move, man. Brittany and Joe, man, we love y'all, man.
Cool. That was a long